Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Jinx updated complete guide for patch 6.0b and above. Of course, Jinx just got buffed, so she's even better now. But before we really get into it, don't forget to check out Jinx's basic guide. I'll link up in the cards above for her skills, living order tips and tricks, as well as a couple of combos. So let's jump straight into the build. Now, honestly, nothing has changed about the build for Jinx in like a long time, right? I think like this has basically been Jinx's build ever since they changed Magnetic Blaster, or since they added Magnetic Blaster to the game and removed like Rapid Fire Cannon and Static Shiv. Um, Taking a look at the top players, they're basically all going for this as well. Like sometimes from time to time, you do have weird builds that pop up, like the on-hit Jinx build, like Stormrazor first item, or even Stormrazor fourth item kind of build, or also Shield Bow kind of build. But basically, this is going to be the default best build for Jinx, I think, like pretty much all of the time. So here, let's get into it. Not too much to explain. You have the Gluttonous Greaves early for the early AD and Omnivam. Then you go into Bloodthirster first item. Huge amount of AD, physical vamp, extra attack speed as well when you're high on health. Then you have Runan's second item. Now, Runan's is pretty important for Jinx because Jinx is at the core a teamfight ADC. So she wants that Runan's spread, which also can synergize with her rockets to do that huge AoE damage. So what I mean by synergize is, for example, if you have three people standing close together, you launch one rocket and the two Runan's bolts procs on the other two people, they count as rockets like as well. So it's good, there's going to be like a chain explosion that they're all going to take AoE damage from each other, so that's just going to be insane. Of course, other than that, you get attack speed, you get a little bit of AD, you get your on-hit proccing on the Runan's bolts as well. But basically, Runan's is like always going to be core item, for Jinx. Then we have Magnetic Blaster for the additional attack speed as well as the attack range, and of course the Energized passive helps as well. Now, why is the Energized passive and the Runan's bolts very important? Because Jinx's main goal in a team fight is you want to get a reset, right? So when you are able to get a reset, you can basically take over the rest of the fight. And so you want to have different ways to kind of make sure you get at least a little bit of damage onto everybody on the enemy team. And that way, if somebody dies, you can immediately get a reset and take over the rest of the fight. So next up, to no one's surprise, we of course have IE for the increased crit rate as well as the AD, and you have Maul Reminder for the Armor Pen and the Grievous Wounds. Now you can swap Maul Reminder earlier if you need to. Sometimes in this tanky meta, you gotta go for Maul Reminder early. That of course pushes IE to last item, which is not optimal but is fine. If you're into a very tanky team, it's better to go Maul Reminder earlier than later. So for the runes, I'm not sure I have clarity here because I guess I played her in ARAM, but anyways, for the runes, we have Lethal Tempo for the attack speed as well as the attack range, and then we of course have Brutal for the additional auto tank damage because you're an ADC that attacks a ton, Giant Slayer to kill the tanks, and Alacrity just for more attack speed. And then we have Bone Plating for, of course, the defensive capabilities. And finally, for the spells, we have Flash and Ghost. Now, on Jinx, I almost always go for Ghost. I think like Jinx, Sivir, Zeri are those champions that still want to take Ghost. Of course, you can go for Barrier, Exhaust, or Cleanse if the situation calls for it, but yeah, you can see that, yeah, the top guy takes Ghost, and then we have Exhaust, Cleanse. I guess it's situational, but I go for Ghost almost all the time. I guess if there's a absurd amount of CC, you can of course go for Cleanse, things like that, etc. But Ghost is just the default. But with all that said, now let's move on to talking about the gameplay. Okay, so now moving into the gameplay itself. Don't forget to, of course, like, comment, subscribe as usual. Any questions, queries, remarks, feel free to leave them in the comments below, and of course, be sure to address them. So in this game, we are playing with the Lulu support, and Lulu support, I think, is the best support for Jinx. I think it's like Lulu first, then Milio, then Yumi. Now, the main reason for that is Lulu can protect Jinx, and Jinx, what she really wants is she just really wants to be protected, right? Because she has enough damage. So she kind of just wants someone to shield her, to heal her, and just to peel for her, basically, and Lulu can do all of that. Milio can kind of help out with that because he does give her the additional range, so she does get additional safety from the range. But of course, you have Yumi as well, who gives her heals, but if someone just comes and assassinates her, Yumi cannot really help all that much, which is why she's kind of ranked third in terms of the three Enchanter supports. So of course, Jinx did just get buffed, and they did lower the cost of casting her rockets like what I'm doing here, and they also of course increase the damage of the rockets, and that is really a huge buff for Jinx because Jinx, in team fights, her main form of damage comes from her rockets, so she always wants to use rockets for the additional range and the AoE factor. So, having the mana cost be 20 instead of 30 to cast a rocket is huge, and also just having additional 3% damage on the rocket is going to be really good as well. However, we're not yet in team fights. We're still in the laning phase, so we still have some ways to go. But of course, in laning phase, you also use your rockets, like what I'm doing here, to poke. So basically, you just kind of always want to get in free autos on the enemy here and there. So Jinx is a very like kind of poke heavy kind of champion in lane. You can see you just basically auto attack minions, and then you just launch a rocket every now and again when you have an enemy in range. And that's basically Jinx's play pattern in lane. Generally, you're not really going to kill anyone in lane because you're pretty weak in the early game now. They have to make either an egregious error or your jungler has to come in for a gank for you to get a kill in lane. Generally, you're just happy to farm and poke. And the reason why poking is important is for two reasons, right? Number one, as we get ganked here, Lulu with the polymorph does help out a little bit. I use the traps to escape, and I'm able to eventually get away, but just by the skin of my teeth. So the reason why you want to poke is important for two reasons. Number one, you want to make the enemy bot laners lower so that they're kind of discouraged from engaging in onto you. Of course, it didn't quite work out in this case because their jungler did come in for a gank. But in a 2v2, if you're able to kind of poke them out enough, generally this is going to dissuade them from really engaging because they don't want to engage on you with half of their health, right? That's not going to be very advantageous to them. So they're generally not going to want to do that. And number two is to set them up for ganks. So for example, if your jungler comes and the enemy like bot laners are like half HP, the gank is a lot more likely to succeed than if they're full HP. So a common mistake a lot of Jinx players make that you don't want to do is you don't want to just AFK farm minions and do nothing, right? Because that's something that Jinx can do, but once again, you're not maximizing her potential because she does have a lot of good poke in lane. And as I covered, poking is going to be important for you to do in lane for the two reasons that I mentioned just now. So you don't want to just AFK, just auto attack minions and farm minions and leave the enemy team alone. That's going to make it a very easy lane for them. And yeah, that's definitely not good. I mean, honestly, Jinx is already a very easy lane matchup for most ADCs. Like when I see a Jinx as my opponent, I'm pretty happy because I don't think she can really do very much in lane. Of course, in the later stages of the game, that's a different story. Here I do hit the rocket on the Darius cross map, so I do get an assist out of that, and I do get a reset. Don't really make very much use of the reset though. But yeah, I'm just clearing minions and yeah. So here, we're still keeping up the poke with the rockets, just blasting the Kaisa and the Shen. Of course, you can see the poke damage is not really that insane, but it's more of the fact that you can consistently poke them without them being able to really respond. Like you can see here, the only thing they can do is all in, right? Shen can, taunt me and then go all in like what they did just now. But if they don't do that, like, nothing too much really happens. And here Lilia is kind of getting caught in our jungle. We put down the traps to kind of block her escape. We're just auto-attacking her. Shen is giving her the ult, but we're able to get rid of her before the ult is complete. And Lilia gets punished for trying a very risky invade. So we got one early kill and an early assist. That's, of course, going to be very helpful. Shen manages to get a two-man taunt here, which is pretty insane. Exhaust goes down onto the Kaisa. We're chasing down the Kaisa. We get the kill and the reset on Kaisa. I'm going for Shen. I'm using the rockets to try to finish the job, and I am able to get the kill under tower. Shen, of course, nowhere to go. Lilia hits the E onto me and actually puts me to sleep, but I'm safe here because I know my team is with me, and Lilia cannot one-shot me with, with Lulu and Tryndamere there. She is, however, chasing down Lulu and Tryndamere. I'm going back to get some fruit to try to help out my team, and here, unfortunately, Darius gets a kill and gets a reset, gets the stacks on me, and basically picks up a free kill onto me because obviously if your teammate allows Darius to like fully stack, there's not a lot you can really do about it. And then Darius gets full stacks, and then you can see he's just going to reset city, and he's just getting all of them. So here my set is coming in from the top lane to kind of help out the situation. I'm launching the rocket to try to help out. I actually am able to get the snipe on Yasuo. I get the reset to run back to the fight faster. Victor's on his way there as well. Set eventually does go down. Victor is now chasing onto the Darius and Kaisa. The Darius goes down, and Kaisa goes down to Victor as well. And Victor picks up a double, and I pick up another assist. So here now Dragon is alive. Of course, the enemy team all pretty much just died. And Lilia is doing the Herald. So here we're going to grab the Infernal Dragon, which then puts us with a possible Infernal Soul this game. Huge minion wave has kind of accumulated here, and we're just going to quickly get rid of that minion wave, and can get this plate as well. There we go. We're just going to be blasting this tower unless someone stops us. So here we get 2 plates before Kai'Sa finally shows up. Putting the traps down just to dissuade any like W ult kind of things that Kai'Sa might want to do. Here I'm launching a rocket to help my team. It does hit the Yasuo, but the fight pretty much ends already, so not really needed. Now here I recall, I pick up my Bloodthirster as well as an additional Nashor's Talon. Of course, big power spikes in terms of items, and I hit it quickly back to lane. I realize that the tower is probably going to go down to the Herald. The Lulu is playing super aggressive, which is I don't think that's very advisable. Here I'm just blasting the Herald so that it doesn't just take out another tower as well. And here we are able to get it. And clear out this lane as well. So now we hit level 9, which is a level 2 ultimate, so that's going to be very, very helpful. Shen is trying to recall in a dangerous position. We stop him. We hit Yasuo with some poke as well, and Wind Wall does come out early, which is really good if there's any ensuing fight, which means that they won't have Wind Wall. Tagging the Shen with a W as well. And we're like 3v3 in the mid lane right now. And of course we're not going to let Shen back so easily. He does look like he wants to go in though, comes in with a taunt but misses me. He is immune to auto attacks right now. I am, however, eventually able to auto him down and finish him off. Same goes for the Yasuo, and now Kai'Sa is running for the hills. And of course, with Lulu, Jinx is a lot more powerful. She boosts your damage, she protects you, and it's just a general really, really good combo. So here we're going to move on to getting the mid lane tower. Of course, when you get the reset off the tower like this, you can just go aggressive and just start blasting people down. You can see just those 2 auto attacks with the Lulu picks does, of course, chunk Kai'Sa out significantly and kind of forces her away. And here Shen goes in once again. I'm just going to focus Kai'Sa, who's already low. We get the reset on Kai'Sa, flash away from Yasuo, and put down the traps just to cut off their escape. That's definitely a fight we don't want to take. We already got the kill, we're happy with it, and now we're going to run away with it. And here, Yasuo is like really fed, right? He's like less than 1,000 gold behind me, and I'm really, really fed, right? I'm 8k gold, so I'm really, really in a good position here. I'm taking the Hex Gate to help my Tryndamere out a bit, but it turns out to be a mistake because I Hex Gate straight into the enemy team, eat everything, and instantly just get shut down. So remember in one of those videos, I was talking about how sometimes when you take a Hex Gate, that can be an int, and sometimes taking a Hex Gate is just not a good idea. This is one of those instances because I Hex Gated to a position where everybody knew where I was going to be at. The enemy team had vision of me, they were just waiting for me, and they just caught me out basically when I took the Hex Gate and I just died instantly. So yep, these kind of things do happen, and obviously they shouldn't be happening too often, but they do happen every now and again. So big mistake by me there. Huge fight breaks out in the top side of the map. I'm trying to make my way there as fast as I can. I don't have any summoner spells though, so I do want to kind of be careful. My team does kill the Yasuo, and here I wanted to get the reset on the tower, but Lulu kills the tower, which is very unfortunate because that reset would have been very, very helpful in the fight. I do have Runans complete now, so I'm blasting 3 people at the same time. We get the kill on Darius and giving me the reset. We're now gonna focus the Kai'Sa. We get the Kai'Sa, and now we're going to focus the Shen. Shen with the Gargoyles is very, very tanky, but we are, of course, able to take him out eventually. We take the enemy red buff as well. Also taking the enemy Raptors while we're at it. And then we see Lilia and Tryndamere in a 1v1, so I'm waiting for a little bit for Victor, and then we're headed in to kind of run interference on the Lilia. We get the slow on her, and at that point she's dead. Rocket was not even needed. Victor is able to finish the kill. And here we're basically just going to maximize our farm. We are pretty close to Magnetic Blaster at this point with those kills. So we're just kind of trying to get the last little bit of farm to get to Magnetic Blaster. Clearing out the wave, clearing out the minions, the jungle camps, everything. Taking the control ward as well. And here the dragon is up, so of course my team is kind of in the area, so I'm gonna have to actually hit over there and help out my team, because we don't want to be in a dragon fight where I know the main source of DPS is not there, and that's of course me. Here Shen is a little bit caught out in the dragon pit. does put down the W. Kai'Sa coming in from the other side. I pop the Ghost just to get the extra mobility. We get the kill onto Shen, get the reset, and now we're just blasting whoever we can at max range. Darius now has the reset though, so we're thankfully able to kill him before he was really able to, make too much of an impact. And we are able to kill basically the entire enemy team and pick up the dragon as well. So with that, we should be able to get in a pretty good push. I pick up some fruit for the mana. And now we're going to push all the way into the mid lane inhibitor, get the mid lane inhibitor, and then we can get a reset off after that. So I make sure, with the reset, I run to a relatively safe location where I can't get cancelled or anything like that, and then I reset. Of course, I can already get the blaster with all those kills, and here I get a QSS as well, mainly for the Shen, to be honest, and you can QSS the Lilia ultimate as well. So overall, just a pretty good buy. So here Darius is starting a fight with my team, and he's running in deep. Shen is coming in with the ulti though. So we are able to kill the Darius, get the reset, dodge the Shen ult, set ult Shen out of the safety of his W. Now Shen is getting run down by us. We get the kill and reset on him. Now I'm going on to the Lilia with the reset. Lilia is going low. I actually flash over Yasuo Tornado by accident, and I get a triple. Now Yasuo in trouble. Tornado hits nobody this time. Shield Bolt procs, and we're slowly running him down. We almost get the Quadra, because Tryndamere does actually take it from us. And here we make a mistake, right? Because we're thinking like, let's just go for the end, right? But when you really look at it, Darius is going to respawn. The wave is 1 mile away, and we should have just gone for Baron. Like here we cannot actually end. So that is definitely a mistake. Like by the time the wave comes in, everybody on the enemy team is respawning, and we cannot actually end the game. So definitely a huge miscalculation from myself and my entire team. So now instead we go for a very late Baron, and I say it's late because at this point everybody other than Yasuo has already respawned, so they can definitely come to contest the Baron, and they should probably know that we're doing the Baron. We do eventually get the Baron. Victor was kind of zoning people away, although nobody actually showed up. And now with the Baron, we don't really have a ton of gold, so we don't really need to reset. So instead we're going with Lulu, and we're going to just push in the top lane while my teammates are pushing in the opposite side of the map. Of course, the enemy team can only either come for us or them unless they split their manpower, which is not going to be the best situation for them either. Now Shen is coming here. I'm going to put down the traps to ensure he can't just dash on me. Here I'm just auto-attacking him for fun, getting my lethal tempo stacked up. Kai'Sa is in a horrible position. She just goes down instantly, gives me a reset, and I'm going to use it to take the tower. Tower is going to give me a reset, and I'm going to use that reset to take out the Shen. Shen pops the gargoyles and is able to survive. Yasuo instead is the one that's going to die and give me the reset. I'm just going to cleanse QSS the Lilia ultimate, and at this point we've taken the tower already. I'm just blasting them with my rockets for fun. You can see I'm just taking all of them, not out, but really, really low. And I'm tanking the Nexus because I believe the red buff is proccing on them. And here they're really low. I'm going to go ahead and push the last lane in. And here my team is pretty low, and they're kind of backing off. Kai'Sa, I'm not sure what she's doing. She walks straight into the Victor stun, gives me another reset, but at this point I have no mana. Victor and Tryndamere are low, so we cannot yet end the game. We kind of need to reset. Actually, blue buff just gets taken by Tryndamere there, so maybe I could have stayed. But I'm able to pick up IE as well as, of course, the anti-heal component. Yes, in this game, I could have gone for Molar Minder early because of Darius and Shen, but honestly, at this point, I'm so far ahead that I don't really have an issue dealing with Darius and Shen at the moment, so I chose just not to go for it. And here, the final dragon is coming out. The enemy team is kind of in position to contest it. I'm taking the Hex Gate to reach the dragon and join my team. Enemy team should be dissuaded from really committing to this because, I mean, giving Infernal Soul is not like the worst in the world compared to just all dying and losing the game. Set's going in, running interference. Shen Taunt comes in, reclaim the Infernal Soul. I'm just going to flash forward, just blasting whoever I can. Rocket goes in, Shen really low, Kai'Sa really low, no one is dying, and Zap does not hit the Kai'Sa. Shen does go down though. I use the reset to kill the Kai'Sa. Wind Wall comes out, and here just blasting them on their base, like just for fun, basically. You can see they're like 1 HP on their base, trying to survive. Lilia comes out. I mean, I don't know why she did that. It gives me another reset. I'm tanking the Nexus, and that's not a good thing. Minion Wave comes in, and now we're just going to end the game. Oh yeah, you can see obviously Jinx is now really good in this new patch together with Lulu as well, even more insane. I'm gonna leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.